Our next presenter is David Wolfpaw. David, they, them, is a professional web developer focused on WordPress theme and plugin development. They emphasize helping small businesses, providing ongoing maintenance and support, and educating users through their service, FixUpFox. David is a partner in the SiteGround WordPress Ambassador program, and David's talk is titled Monetizing Your Passion, WordPress for Content Creators. David says, I am a proponent for art of art's sake, but late capitalism almost demands that you turn your passion into profit. In this talk, we'll explore a variety of monetization strategies tailored for content creators, from affiliate marketing and selling digital products to setting up membership sites and managing sponsored content. Learn how to seamlessly integrate these revenue streams into your WordPress site, optimize your site for monetization, and engage with your audience. Whether you're a blogger, an artist, or an educator, we'll share practical tips and tools to monetize your content effectively and sustainably. Join us to transform your creative endeavors into a thriving online business. Let's bring them on. Hi, David.
Thank you very much for having me. Hello.
I can't hear you.
I hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I have a lot of coffee to keep myself going.
I got you. I can hear you now.
No worries. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great day so far at the conference. There's some very interesting talks already, and some that I saw listed later on the schedule that I'm also excited to listen to.
Absolutely.
Katie, you did a great job introducing. I don't really think I have anything else to say besides getting started.
All right. Well, I'm going to add your presentation to the screen here.
Absolutely. So I have, hopefully I'll have plenty of time for questions afterward. I've done a presentation similar to this once before, and I had a lot of very good discussion at the end, and so I'm looking forward to the same here. But if you are here, most likely you are either already trying to monetize the things that you do online, or you already are doing this. And even if you're already doing something like myself, running your own business or running your own side business, side hustle, whatever it is that you may do, there are probably other ways that you could also try to monetize the things that you do online. That my goal is to do things that still feel good, that doesn't feel like you're selling yourself out or selling things that you aren't personally interested in or passionate about. Not because, I think that you have to be passionate about something to sell it, but I don't want to get into that place of where you're watching someone promote a product and you know that they don't even use it. They're just getting paid, to use it. We're not going to be focusing on any of that. So I think pretty much everything about myself has been covered. My name's David. Good to meet y'all. And I'm just going to jump right in. I have 5 different monetization options that I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of each. I'm going to share some examples, and I'm also going to share some tools that you can use with WordPress. There is a copy of this presentation available online on my website. The link was on the start, and the link will be at the end of the slides. And it will also have links to all of the different tools that I share. So if if I move on from something, don't worry, you'll be able to get another copy of it. The 5 tools that I want to focus on today are, I kind of put them in order of what I consider the easiest to get started with to like the hardest. And that's going to be affiliate marketing, sponsored content, digital products, membership sites, and then patrons and crowdfunding. So let's start with affiliate marketing. This is what I would consider the easiest way to get started monetizing something that you already do online. Basically, affiliate marketing is a way for you to take links to other products that somebody else builds, somebody else creates, and then you share them within your own content. And if people click on your links and purchase something from the other site, you'll get some percentage of the sale. If you're talking about a very large company, like if you're sharing something like Amazon links, your commission is going to be something like 2%. If you are talking about smaller companies, for instance, a lot of the companies who are sponsoring events like Stellar Spark, those can be a wide range. I've seen some WordPress companies have 10% revenue share for affiliates, up to 20, 30, 40%. It really depends on the product and the company. Chances are, if you are looking at a WordPress product like a WordPress plugin or theme, a lot of them have affiliate programs. So I have just some examples here of several different blogs that are built on WordPress. I look for WordPress specific ones, and then how they introduce affiliate marketing. So the first example that I have here is someone promoting a very specific product. Abby organizes, has a very specific niche that she talks about on her website, how to organize your life in general. And she specifically is talking about Evernote in this blog post. And so she's giving you, the pros and cons, the rundown of a specific product to sell you on. The following ones are a lot more generalized. So, for instance, the Nerd Wallet page up next has several different tools that they're showing off. The Headphones Addict website is talking about one specific product on this page, but as you can imagine, every page is some review of different types of headphones, and they all have their own links. And then the final one I shared because I like the idea of something, completely different. You're still sharing something that is entertaining to people. I realize the text might be a bit small. This is 33 work from home essentials that will make work suck less. And I work from home myself. I'm in my home office, and I am always looking for things that can make me feel a bit more productive, a bit more relaxed while I'm working. So sometimes it's just entertaining to go through articles like this, and I find that very, if it's something that people are going to get some knowledge from you from and some entertainment out of, that's a good way to share things, without it being scammy, for lack of a better word. So there are several pros to affiliate marketing. They have a very low cost because you don't have any sort of product stock. Your investment is probably going to be around $0. We're assuming you already have your own website that you're going to be, or your own social media at the very least that you're going to be promoting products through. There is a passive potential to affiliate marketing. This is challenging, but there are websites that will write evergreen content that can have those links, be shared over and over again for a longer period of time. And so you don't have to be constantly selling to get results. And then affiliate marketing can also be very flexible and scalable. Basically, what I mean here is you get to, like those other pages, choose exactly which things you're promoting. So you can either have a very strong niche like organizing or headphone selling, or you can just have a general thing that you like to do. For instance, that last site, entertaining people with products, basically, um, where you get to choose what you want to share. And more importantly, you don't have to share things that don't interest you. You can also promote multiple programs. So, unless there's some very specific terms that you have with a company, which is generally unlikely, you can say, for instance, the Nerd Wallet page, they're saying, here's all of the accounting tools that we like, and they're able to share from multiple different companies that do similar things. There are some negatives. This is a variable income because the earnings will fluctuate tremendously. If I'm selling accounting products as an example, that is probably not something that I'm going to be selling routinely the same amount of. Most likely, people are going to be looking at that content at specific times of year or at specific points, for instance, when they're first starting their business. So you have to consider, who is going to see your content and when. Since affiliate marketing is easy to get started with, that means there's tremendous competition. This is something that you really need to work very hard at, and you need to do a lot of work promoting. It is something that is not for the faint of heart. So again, there's a lot of time and effort involved, and it's something that I think a lot of people could do as an add-on to what they do, but I would not suggest trying to do affiliate marketing alone as a main source of income. It will take a long time to build up to that. A lot of companies have found success with this, but that's also getting harder nowadays, especially with just the way that the internet works at this point. If you want to run affiliate marketing on your own website, there are several different WordPress plugins that you can use. And then there are several other services you can use. Pretty Links and Thirsty Affiliates are some good places to find some resources. And then if you want to have an easy way to track your clicks, track your affiliate links, update them with having to update every page on your site, etc. Ad Sanity plugin is a very good one that I've used. And if you personally want to run your own affiliate program, so if you have your own product for sale and want to do an affiliate program, Affiliate WP is a good plugin to look into. So we've moved on from the easiest to get started with, but hardest to accomplish. Let's move on to something a little bit more. It requires a little bit more initial work up front, but has a little bit more stability, and that would be sponsored content. So the difference between affiliate marketing and sponsored content is that when you're doing an affiliate marketing, you are most likely promoting the product on your own in order to get sales or in order to share info with people. So you can say, here are the things that I like. Here's my affiliate link. When you're doing sponsored content, normally the company that you're working with will dictate a bit of what you should be talking about, what kind of messaging that they want to have, what they do and don't want you to say, how they want you to share things, etc. And they also normally have some sort of requirements on, we need people with this much of an audience. We expect this much to come out of it. So what I'm giving here are three different types of examples. The first is a newsletter, Morning Brew. It's a very popular newsletter that will regularly have sponsors for individual newsletters. So the example here, I highlighted in purple here. That's what those are. The first one is from a company that is sponsoring the entire newsletter. And then a little bit further down in the newsletter, there's information about that company. The next one, the BuzzFeed page, there is note of it on the page that at the top of the page that this is a sponsored post. So while they are doing something entertaining, BuzzFeed listicles and GIF filled pages and everything, it is basically here to sell Lowe's, the company. And then it can also be via social media. I like this example here at the end of Tums promoting Hot Ones, the hot sauce show, because I think that it's a good pairing for those two companies. But again, they make it very clear that it's being promoted by Tums. So some of the pros of sponsored content, especially versus affiliate marketing, are that you get direct revenue. You're going to be paid directly from the sponsor, which means you either have some sort of rate worked out with them, such as a certain amount of money per number of impressions or number of clicks, or you get paid just for running the program. They might say, "We'll pay you X amount of dollars to write this post and publish it," or something like that. Basically, you already have a much better idea of how much money you're going to make than if you are just hoping people click on a link. I also think that things like sponsored content are great for building relationships. You can build ongoing relationships with sponsors that can turn into things later on. You can make longer term deals with them, work with other companies that they work with, find different ways to get involved. So, for example, it was mentioned that I am part of the SiteGround Ambassador program. That's something where I have an ongoing relationship with that hosting company that I work with, but don't directly work for. And so it's great that we get to keep working year after year on things to, new ways to promote services. And then hopefully you're going to earn audience trust. What I mean by that is if you are sharing good content, like, your sponsored content fits your brand, you're able to earn the trust of your audience that says, not only do I talk about, in my case, not only do I talk about web hosting, but this company is already paying me, trusts me enough, that I'm going to share good things. And so hopefully you can trust me more that I know what I'm talking about and, that I'm not just making things up. Of course, there are negatives to sponsored content as well. I don't want people to think that I'm only promoting goods and services that I just am getting paid for. I personally make sure that it's things that I use and things that I enjoy using. So there are a lot of companies that I've had discussions with and decided not to work with because I just don't feel like I could confidently basically sell the product if I'm not doing the work. Um, you do have to do a lot of legal disclosures online for sponsored content. There are specific guidelines and regulations. This is going to change where you live. It's going to change what you're doing, and it's going to change what platforms you're using. And then, again, this takes a lot of time to do this work. But not only do you have to do the work that you did for affiliate marketing, now you also have to take time for your sponsor approvals. You have to take time and effort for doing negotiations with them. You have to work out contracts. There's a lot of things that require more effort that you should probably get some professional help with, which is why the resources that I'm giving here are simply 2 documents that the FTC puts out. So these are going to be more specific to United States, but they could be good, if even if you're working in another country to get some information. So there's FTC endorsement guides and the 101 for social media influencer disclosure guide. Both of these are official things put out by the Federal Trade Commission, part of the U.S. government, that outlines specifically what they're looking for you to be in legal compliance. So I would highly suggest reading through these. They are meant to be made for the layperson, not for somebody who has a legal background. They are made to say in clear terms, here's the things that you need to do. Here's what doesn't work for us. So you've been selling other people's products through sponsored content and affiliate marketing. Now let's talk about digital products. Digital products are things that you make and that you are selling to other people. You can do something like sell on Etsy. Etsy, you can sell physical and digital products on. I happen to do a lot of digital drawing. So I was showcasing an Etsy shop that sells brushes for Procreate and Illustrator and different apps. So I can go to this shop and purchase brushes that are just digital files that I download. You can use other tools. This middle one is from Gumroad. It's just to sell digital products. You can buy, in this case, this is an ebook that you can buy, but you can buy licenses for software. Some people sell their brushes through there. I also buy them there. Myself, I buy a lot of creative tools, 3D models, video game assets, books, things like that. And then also, you can run your own digital products from your own website. So the example on the right is a WordPress plugin called Facet WP, which I think works very well. I would suggest it like just on its own thing, on its own merits. But this one they sell on their own website. They happen to be using the Easy Digital Downloads plugin to do their sales. And so from their own website, I can buy their plugin and I can get access to updates and support. Digital products can have really high margins. You have very low overhead when everything you're selling is digital. So you're going to have lower recurring costs, which means you're going to have higher margins than if you're selling physical goods. Basically, the idea is kind of like what people say when they're talking about passive income, only it's like real, which is you spend the time building a thing, and then every time you sell it thereafter, the additional costs are near zero for you. There are a lot of things that you need to focus on. You need to focus on providing updates and support so that people will, continue wanting to purchase from you. But generally, you don't have to do a lot of extra work to make sales 2, 3, 4, 20, 50, 100 after the first sale. Similarly, you have creative control over it. You can choose how much you're going to charge for your product. If you think that it should be higher or lower cost than competitors out there, you can choose how you're going to distribute it, how you're going to offer your product to people, and how you're going to market it to them. And you can also choose the type of product you want to sell. Do I want to sell? I'll use one of the examples from the previous page. Do I want to sell you the digital files for those paintbrushes? Do I want to sell you a course on painting digitally? Do I just want to sell you something that I've painted digitally? You get to choose that. And to add on to that, you can sell all 3 of those things. If you are an artist who makes your own brushes, paints things, and does tutorials, you could sell all 3 of those on your site, cross-promote them if you so choose. Now then, the biggest con that I see to digital products is that you're going to have to do a lot to take care of your customers. It's more than just somebody clicking from a link that you have to buy somebody else's product. So your customers are probably paying for something, and they're probably paying for something that they could find for free elsewhere. Maybe hopefully yours is better than what they're going to get for free. But you want to make sure that it's worth it for your customers to say, here's why you want to pay for my course versus go to this free course on YouTube. Here's why you want to buy my brushes versus, the default ones that come with your app. You're probably also going to have to do customer support. This can be very challenging depending on the type of product that you're selling. Someone might say this doesn't work. You have to figure out why it doesn't work with whatever setup they have. Or they might say, I didn't expect, this wasn't what I expected. How are we going to fix this? Can I get a refund? Whatever they may ask. Um, and then you also need to have your own marketing. Similar to everything else, it's all you have to find your customer. But in this case, I'm not leaning on someone else's reputation. I'm leaning on my own reputation. I have to say, here's why I think it's worth it for you to buy this product that I made versus here's why you should buy it from me. Now, if you want to sell digital resource or digital products, excuse me, like I mentioned before, Easy Digital Downloads. That's a WordPress plugin that has been around for quite a long time. It works very well, regularly doing so many updates, and there's so many different extensions that you can get for it. They use their plugin to sell their plugin. It's a great tool. You can also use WooCommerce. So that's one that Automatic WordPress.com owns. It's made for selling physical or digital products. I use that on some sites that sell both things. And then I personally said Gravity Forms here because it's the form plugin that I use. But I can say, insert almost any WordPress form plugin. You can do something as simple as setting up a form that says, here's what I have for sale. Give me your purchase information. And then most form plugins, WP Forms, Ninja Forms, Gravity Forms, however many are out there, have product add-ons. So I can personally connect Gravity Forms on my site. Say I have a product that I'm selling for $10 and then connect it to my PayPal or Stripe account. And when somebody fills out that form, it will then take them to the proper page, complete the purchase. So let's say you want to get a community started. You're doing something where maybe you sell digital products or maybe you promote things already, but you want to have a more defined community that keeps coming back to you. This is where a membership site would come in. This is something that I also have some experience with, both for myself and with building for others, where usually you have some sort of niche topic that people want to get more information about, or they want to network with, or there's something, hopefully you have some sort of unique value proposition to say, here's why my membership site is worth it for you. Some of the examples that I have here are just for various different professional services. For instance, a membership site for freelance writers. Peak Freelance makes it very clear who it's for and what you can get out of it. If you look through their website, they'll tell you about what you get with your membership. Similar, the Freelance Friday Club, they're very clear on here's what you're going to get. And a lot of it focuses on you're going to be able to talk with the people who run the website, network with others, get access to their previous content, things like that. I believe both of these, I know Peak Freelance does, I believe both also have job boards. So you can also use it as a place to try to find additional work, presuming that's what you're trying to do. And then finally, again, I like to do digital art. Zealous Art is an online art school. There's a membership site where you can both get access to video courses, more defined than like just a one-off YouTube video. But you can also join a community where you can talk with others, share tips and tricks, share the things that you're working on, try to build more of a community. I find the most value in membership sites for community building because as the person who's running the site, you have some content to share, but much stronger than that is if you have a community of people around you who just want to talk with one another. You're basically just facilitating a place for them to meet. And then you don't have to do all of the work. You don't have to be able to answer every question. If somebody wants to know, how to um, where to get good physical prints of their digital paintings done, they don't just have to ask you. Now there's a community that you've built that can have a variety of different answers, which certainly takes a lot of effort off. So, membership sites also have one of the biggest pros. I call this the holy grail of the holy grail of online income, the holy grail of passive income. I'm using that in air quotes, which is recurring revenue. Basically, you're not just selling somebody a product one time, you are selling them on a service where they're going to pay over time and hopefully keep coming back to time and time again. That should add some more predictability and stability in your revenue. So, assuming that you can get your churn low, which is how many people purchase your product and then don't return, don't continue to purchase in the future, you'll get a good idea of how much money you're going to bring in this month or this year, assuming that things stay as they are. You're also going to get a lot better direct feedback. If somebody is joining a membership site, they're probably a lot more engaged than the average person who is simply buying a one off product. So you're able to get feedback from your community very quickly on what things do you like, what things do you not like, what would you like to see more of, etc. And another thing that I find very valuable with a membership site is building brand authority. When you are running this community, whatever it is that your membership site is about, that can give you some increased visibility, increased credibility, increased trust. Basically, people are going to look to you when they are thinking about whatever it is that your community is for. This doesn't mean that you need to be the main expert in whatever this community is, but you're the person who has assembled everybody. You're the person who's spent the time building up a network for others, which is the most valuable thing that your membership site can do. Membership sites do require a bit more technical setup than your average website, just because even though there's tools out there to make it easier, there are so many things that you need to manage. You need to manage all of your content. You need to manage the community itself, moderate your communities. You need things to start with. Manage payments, manage when payments don't work, manage when somebody can't log in for some reason, all those customer support things. Um, you're going to need to do a lot to keep people wanting to come back and not having them think, okay, well, I joined this community. It doesn't seem like it's for me. I'm going to get out of here. That's going to happen to some percentage of people on any website. But if you notice that your churn is getting very high, you'll need to address what it is that you can do to keep people wanting to come back. And as far as membership sites, there's a tool called Paid Memberships Pro for WordPress that I think works very well. There's a lot of extensions for it, which is my favorite thing. You can basically add them to your site like Lego bricks, just the individual pieces that you need to build the exact type of membership site that you want. MemberPress is another good tool. And then LearnDash is a membership site tool specifically for people who want to build a learning management system. So basically, if you are building courses and you want to do things like have quizzes or have tracks that people go on to track how far they've gone in a specific course, something like an LMS, like LearnDash for WordPress, would be a good option. Finally, the fifth different monetization strategy I wanted to discuss are patrons and crowdfunding. So by this I mean there are different things that you might want to do that people or to get people to give you money that aren't just directly a trade for a product. For instance, GiveWP, which I'll talk about in a moment, a WordPress plugin to let people donate to you. So I've used GiveWP on some sites that are for nonprofits, and people already have a reason to give to those nonprofits that aren't just I'm going to get some physical or digital item in return. I happen to run a Mastodon instance, and we use Patreon to make memberships. People can support the server by giving us money to run the servers or to pay for the servers that we have to run. That's been working very well for us on Patreon. And then I'm sure everyone's familiar with Kickstarter, website where people can sell digital or physical products, or again, just raise money to do something. So, maybe just some people say, I want to build this thing. I want to make this comic, or whatever. And you aren't even necessarily expecting that you're going to get something from it, but you want to support the work that that creator does. So the pros of patrons and crowdfunding tools, your fans are going to give you money directly for the things you want to work on. If you're doing something that people care about, or if people care about you, they're going to be able to pay you directly, which gives you creative freedom. and it also lets you validate what you're doing. Basically, if you say that you want to make a movie and a lot of people give you money to make that movie, they trust that you'll be able to make that movie. If no one gives you any money, that also is validating that maybe it's not the right project for you to work on. Um, there are some cons to these. You have to have commitment to it. Basically, if you make promises to people, you have to keep those promises or deal with the fallout of not keeping those promises. You're going to add a lot of extra work in administration. So if you have different patron tiers and rewards, basically things that people get for different levels, you have to make sure that you're managing those. And then you also have just that added pressure, of again making that promise and having to ensure that you're doing the thing that you set out to do. Um, some people can get away with going, "Well, we tried this and it didn't work out," but a lot of times, if you make a promise to do something online and people give you money and you don't do it, they can get very upset. If you want to do any sort of patronage or crowdfunding, again, GiveWP is a great tool for donations on your own website. There are websites like Patreon or Subscribestar or Coffee, all these different ones where people can pay you either one time or monthly to get access to a feed of whatever you're working on. And then there are also tools like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, which lets you run a specific campaign. I'm going to be selling this book for the next 30 days, and you have to reach a certain limit. Um, I'm going to try to run through this a little quickly, everything I'm going over. I really suggest that you do some sort of email marketing with whatever it is that you're selling. If you have not heard this before, email is king. Almost everyone has an email address, and you're going to get stuff directly to people's inbox. It's a much better way to keep track of people that you're working with and keep track of your customers, and also to sell to them directly. So you can use this to drive traffic to your content. You can promote sponsored content like that morning brew one I showed you, with the sponsorships and ads, and then you can cross promote other things you're working on. I do a personal newsletter. I share the things I'm working on and where people can find them. I think that you need to focus on optimizing your website. Make sure that your website is fast. So get a reliable host. Have some optimization tools. That can be a whole presentation on its own. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Ensure that you are updating your website regularly. Security tools can really help, but just first make sure that your accounts are up to date. Use secure passwords. Use two-factor authentication on all of your payment accounts, and update every tool that you're using regularly. And if you're running your own website, make sure that you have some sort of SEO tool that can help you identify issues on your website, fix them, and ensure that your website is good for SEO. Again, each one of these three things here can be multiple different presentations on their own. So I apologize for not going into depth on each of them, but hopefully these are things with some of the other presentations today and presentations elsewhere that you can get more direct information. But I do want to get into questions. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. My company website is FixUpFox.com, and that link at the bottom, FixUpFox.com/monetizing WordPress, is where you can find this presentation and all of the links if you want to refer to it later.